Yo, what is up, the homies, and welcome back to yet another episode of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In today's episode, as you can see, we are in Zora's Fountain. You kind of have to come here to progress forward with the game. This isn't where the water temple is at, thank God. Basically, alright, I have an excuse as to why, you guys have a lack of Ocarina of Time content. Want to know what my excuse is? My excuse is the water temple. But it's finished. I'm done with the water temple, y'all. As of me recording this, I'm done with the water temple. For you guys to watch my gameplay, watch how I get to the water temple, obviously you need to watch this episode. Anyone using this as a guide, this is probably the most linear guide you'll ever see. Actually, probably the most linear guide you'll ever see. I don't do anything that isn't required of me to do. And by anything, I mean I don't even have the damn horse, and I'm close to the end of the game. That's what I mean by anything. So I'm probably literally the most linear guide that you will ever use. Yeah. At least for Ocarina of Time. But back in the Minish Cap days, man, that was tedious. That was tedious as hell. I can't even watch my own Let's Play for the Minish Cap, bro. That's back whenever I preferred quantity over quality. Now, it's quality over quantity. And you guys are getting only quality content from here on out. But, yeah. Essentially, you do need to come into the ice cavern here to access the water temple at all. That's not necessarily because you can't get into the water temple. You can get into the water temple, but there's something you need in the ice cavern to beat the water temple. And that's the iron boots, of course. Plus, you find the blue fire, or whatever the hell it's called here. And that's what you use to get the water tunic, or Zora tunic, or whatever the hell it's called. And obviously that is also needed to beat the water temple. So basically the ice cavern is required. It's in Zora's Fountain. Obviously we were there way earlier on in the game. Back during the Jabu Jabu's Belly, which was another dungeon. So, yeah. If you guys know where that's at, if you guys know how to get to Zora's Fountain, then you guys are good on getting to the ice cavern itself. I have been, looking into Majora's Mask, because I don't know, after I beat Ocarina of Time, what Zelda, timeline am I going to follow first? Am I going to go with the hero falls timeline, the hero succeeds timeline, or whatever the hell the third one is? Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Majora's Mask is obviously the direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, so I don't know if I should go for that and then just go down that timeline first, you know? I've been hoping to see if I can find a ROM of The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Anniversary Edition for the 3DS, just because obviously that's the one where you can actually play single player, and you can do multiplayer on The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords, but see, that's the thing. You can do a multiplayer ROM of Legend of Zelda 4 Swords on the GBA, but the entire map is randomized, so I could literally, I could use a save state. Use a save state on both phones that I'm playing with, and then load it up on the same phones. Load up the same save state on the same phones, and it the entire map is basically randomized the next time it loads up. So I know I tried doing 4 Swords a while back, and then I found out everything about the game itself is randomized. And that's why I didn't continue my 4 Swords Let's Play. I think I still have the first 2 episodes of that up. But again, that's why I didn't continue my 4 Swords Let's Play. I feel like most of the Zelda fandom has just kind of forgotten about Four Swords. But that's what I'm saying. If I can get a ROM of the Anniversary Edition, I can play it single player. Don't need to worry about that randomization stuff. And, yeah. Everything's all cool, all good, all Gucci. If only. If we lived in a perfect world where ROMs of The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Anniversary Edition existed, then maybe I could do that. But unfortunately, despite my searching, I haven't found a Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Anniversary Edition ROM out there anywhere. So, it's unlikely I'll ever be able to even play it. Despite the fact that it looks like an actual okay game. Ocarina of Time, though, I can settle for. I could settle for some Ocarina of Time, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, essentially, I did, like, from the Ice Cavern all the way up to the Water Dungeon, basically in the entirety of a day. That's how long this damn game is, bro. And I think howlongtobeat.com or whatever the hell it's called, I forget how long it says it takes to beat, but man, it's hell a lot longer than that. It's hell a lot longer than that. Like, if I were to actually count up my hours on how long this damn game is taking me, oh my gosh. I'd say it's been probably about 35 so far. And we still have 3 more dungeons to go after the Water Temple, which that's what I just beat, as I stated in the beginning of this video. Unfortunately, you guys aren't going to see me beat the Water Temple for another, like, 4 episodes. That's just how tedious it is. There's so much, like, switching back and forth on your map and stuff. It's annoying as hell. I don't think there's anyone out there who actually enjoys the Water Temple. And then to top it all off, you know, the best part about any Zelda, like, basically any Nintendo game, is the bosses. And to top off the Water Temple, they give us an absolute mediocre boss experience. Probably the only easy boss after Phantom Ganon. So, yeah. Water Temple sucks. Objectively bad, objectively hard, and objectively so shit that I never want to play this game again. Everyone tells me it's like a lot better in the 3D remake for the 3DS. I doubt that. But I mean, like, I'm not willing to try it out. So, yeah. Whatever you say. But I'm not going to test it out just because you said it's slightly better and slightly less tedious. I feel like it's been, like, it's always been such, like people hate it whenever you actually criticize Ocarina of Time for valid reasons. Even though there's plenty of valid reasons to criticize Ocarina of Time. Because I've stated on here multiple times, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Ocarina of Time. I think, based on what I've done so far, it feels very outdated. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, I think it's a really outdated game. It's not bad, per se. It's just, like I said, outdated. There's a lot of things that definitely modern Zelda does better than Ocarina of Time. And I'm not saying they just do it better as in, like, controls. I'm saying they do it better as in, like, atmosphere, music. Just, it's all objectively better. You can sit here and tell me Ocarina of Time is a good game, and I'm not going to disagree with that. But if you're going to sit here and tell me Ocarina of Time is the best game of all time or even the best Zelda game, then fuck you, you little shit. Because, just in all honesty, I'm not the biggest Ocarina of Time fan. I'm not. I don't know if the 3D remake would change my mind, or would it not? I don't know. But I guess we'll never know. Because I'm not willing to replay the entirety of this game just to sway my opinion on it a little bit. Because based on what I've played so far, and I'm getting pretty close to the end, so I think I have a right to say this. Based on what I've played, Ocarina of Time is my least favorite of the 3 games I've played. To play it back then, especially like entering Hyrule and like seeing how big that area is, to play it back then, that would have been amazing. But playing it now, no, it's not impressive. Especially in an era where something like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom exists. Because, like, obviously the little, like, open overworld area in Ocarina of Time, like I said, like, it would have been impressive back then. To them, it would be what Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is to us now. And that's the thing. That's what we have now. So this game is small to us. This game is, I'm not going to say irrelevant, because it's a good game. Like I said, it's a good game. But it does deserve some constructive criticism. It's not free of criticism just because it's a good game. I know, like, me personally, even if I played this back in the day, I still would have been slightly frustrated with it. And I do actually own this game on GameCube, so, like, I don't know. If I do go back to it eventually, I feel like it's gonna be the GameCube version, just because the camera in that one's, like, slightly better. So if I ever do go back to it, it would be the GameCube version, and I don't know, we'll see, like, how my thoughts change eventually then. But I doubt they will. I wonder if maybe, like, playing through Master Quest even would sway my thoughts just a little bit. Again, I doubt it. Because I don't like the game so far. Let me rephrase that. I like the game. I don't like the game as much as other Zelda games so far. Skyward Sword is praised for its linearity. Not praised. Skyward Sword is criticized for its linearity. And that's the exact reason I like it. And then Minish Cap is also pretty linear, just considering the fact that it's a 2D game. Again, part of the reason why I like it. If you guys can't tell based on the type of Let's Plays I give y'all, linear gameplay is my thing. Like, I'm not into big open world games like some of the new, like, Final Fantasies and stuff. I'm not into that stuff like Elden Ring even. Or even if it's not, like, big, huge open world. Just anything that is, like, exploration based, I'm not a huge fan of. And even, like, Skyward Sword would become tedious for me at times. Not to say I dislike Skyward Sword, because that's in my top 3 games of all time. And again, not to say I dislike Ocarina of Time, because this is probably within my top 20 games of all time. And I've played a hell of a lot of games. So, that's a compliment to this game. Again, I just think it feels a little bit outdated, and I'm not going to defend it 100% to where I think it's free of criticism. If you came here to meet the Zoras, you wasted your time. This is all there is. With one exception, the Zoras are now sealed under this thick ice sheet. I managed to rescue the Zora princess from under the ice, but she left to head for the water temple. And of course, that's where we get to go. Just great. This ice is created by an evil curse. The monster in the water temple is the source of the curse. Unless you shut off the source, this ice will never melt. If you have courage enough to confront the danger and save the Zoras, I will teach you the melody that leads to the temple. Time passes, people move, like a river's flow, it never ends. A childish mind will turn to noble ambition, young love will become deep affection, the clear water's surface reflects growth. Now listen to the serenade of water to reflect upon yourself. Alright. I think this is like the second to last melody that we learn. I always like to screenshot them just so that like I don't forget them. I gotta say, this looks absolutely beautiful right here. Just this small little area. I love how like the textures, the color choices. I just love how vibrant this whole area is. Alright then. I think I do actually enter the water temple in this episode. So technically the water temple lasts like 5 episodes. I believe so, yeah. But yeah, as much as I do not like the water temple, it does give us like sort of a mini boss that I am a big fan of, and I think all of you know what I'm talking about when I say that. Just because like the main boss in the water temple just isn't that exciting, but the mini boss with the music, the atmosphere, the reveal, it just absolutely like it elevates everything perfectly. That's where some of these, like, that's where I do agree in saying that this is a good game, is moments like that, like story-based moments. But definitely like some of the gameplay elements are definitely outdated. I think obviously though, hell, I'll just say it, if you don't want to get that mini boss spoiled for you, go ahead and skip this. But yeah, I think Dark Link is probably one of the like best reveals, best moments in all of like Zelda gaming, in all of gaming even. That's how good it is. I'm willing to say it's that good. Just one of the best moments in all of gaming. Hell, it's one of the best bosses in all of gaming. We'll even go that far. I don't like how a lot of games nowadays just don't have bosses. I'm not a fan. Even my favorite game of all time doesn't have bosses, which is Mafia 2 Definitive Edition. I'm just not a huge fan of how, because like usually bosses end up being my favorite parts of like Nintendo games and stuff. So I feel like if PlayStation games were to implement bosses into their gameplay, they could absolutely destroy the market. I think Ghost of Tsushima, like, they had bosses in it, but it wasn't necessarily like a boss as much as it was just a normal fight with health bars. Same with like God of War and God of War Ragnarok. Like, they had quote-unquote bosses, but it was really just normal fights with health bars. I think Nintendo definitely does bosses the best because they give us the, like, they give us creative things to do. And I'm not just talking Mario bosses, because obviously those get pretty bland at times, but like, if you look at some like Donkey Kong bosses, you look at some Zelda bosses, Pikmin, a lot of great Nintendo franchises have like really, really creative bosses. Even like, I know Mega Man isn't Nintendo, but Mega Man is another example of a franchise with great bosses. Definitely Sonic the Hedgehog. Even like Sonic 06, which is probably one of the worst games of all time. I think even that game creatively like utilizes the bosses in it. Which honestly, if anything, just proves how great Nintendo or Sonic bosses are. I'm not sure how far I get into the water temple, because right here is obviously like where you access it. I'm not sure how far I get into it. And of course you need to put your iron boots and your water or Zora tunic on. I don't know if the pause menu is like supposed to look like that. Like, it's hella glitched out. It's like every time I pause too. I don't know if like it's actually supposed to look like that or not. Of course, getting into here is a lot easier than I make it seem. You essentially just equip your hook shot. And there you go. Alright guys, sorry about that cut there, but essentially all you are doing is, well, pushing that switch with your hook shot, and then you can enter the water temple. Obviously, we're gonna get a little bit further into it in this episode, which is amazing. And I don't know how I forgot to mention this, but new Sonic game. Yeah, in case you guys haven't heard, they announced Sonic Superstars at the Summer Game Fest 2023. So, some nice announcements. That was probably like the biggest announcement that we got there. Other than that, we got some news on Final Fantasy, what is it, 16, the new one that's coming out. There's like over 100 Final Fantasy games. Nobody cares about them anymore. But yeah, this is the beginning of the Water Temple. The tedious level that everybody hates in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Although I must say, it does look absolutely beautiful, despite how tedious the level itself is. And yeah, one thing I think everybody like universally agrees on is just that having to pause the game to switch to your freaking iron boots like every 5 seconds absolutely sucks. I feel like that's probably what took me so long, because me playing on the emulator, for some reason the loading times in themselves just took a lot longer. So yeah. But yeah, definitely this game is absolutely visually stunning, and the water temple, I think, really gives the game a chance to show off those visuals. As much as I hate to admit it, the water temple definitely some great visuals in here, despite how tedious it is. And plus, you are looking at the map the entire, probably half of the gameplay of the water temple. So, you know, that takes away from the visuals anyways. But in all seriousness, they did fix that up in the 3D remake for the 3DS. You can switch between the iron boots and your normal boots with, like, the press of one button. So you don't actually have to, you know, switch between, like, pause the game every time you want to use your iron boots. You can just press a button and switch between normal and iron. And obviously, the iron boots are how you sink to the bottom of the floor, as you guys saw in the ice cavern already, as well as using these to get into the water temple. I don't know why I didn't explain that then. But yeah, that's basically what the iron boots are for. So they are a required item to get. And here we are. But yeah, Sonic Superstars just got announced at the Summer Game Fest as of the day I'm recording this. So hopefully you guys are just as excited for it as I am. I know definitely for me, it's probably one of my most anticipated games now, and I'm just hearing about it. Obviously, like, you guys know me, I'm a big Sonic fan. I've played through probably every 2D Sonic game besides the Rush franchise, like anything Dimps related. But I have played through Sonic Advance, so not anything Tips related. But yeah, here we go. Oh, if I'm right, you're gamer. You're gamer, aren't you? Damn, girl. Like, you can tell it's been 7 years, cause where did them things come from? Damn. They just appeared, bro. I swear, they looked at me first, okay? You're a terrible man. But now is not the time to talk about love. Oh, no, this is the time to talk about love. I'm sure you've already seen it. Zora's Domain, totally frozen. A young man named Sheik saved me from under the ice. Yes, a young man named Sheik. But my father and the other Zoras have not yet. I want to save them all. I want to save Zora's Domain. Zora's Domain is, like, I feel like it's required for Zora's Domain to look beautiful in every Zelda game. And obviously, Ocarina of Time was, like, the first game to start that trope, because I think this was the first game to have Zora's Domain in it. Inside the water temple, there are 3 places where you can change the water level. Oh man, that's where the backtracking starts, is those 3 places. She says follow her, and then you don't see her again until the Chamber of the Sages, aka after you beat the boss of this dungeon. But yeah, basically is all you do is you just switch over to your normal boots. Basically is all you do is you just switch over to your normal boots. Basically is all you do is you just switch over to your normal boots. What the hell, bro? What the fuck? Why? I should have edited this out. Okay, there we go. What the fuck? Like, damn, bro. I didn't even switch to my boots. And that whole pausing was in there. I should have just edited that out, on God, bro. But, yeah. Here we go. Start of the water temple. How fun. Am I supposed to be having fun? I'm having more fun looking at my gameplay footage than actually playing through it earlier. Because obviously, as you guys know, I voice over the footage after I record and then edit it. I'm having more fun looking at the footage. Because obviously, we all know it's not fun to play through the damn water temple. What is this, like my 3rd Zelda video in a row? Yeah, you guys probably ain't getting anything else for like a good while, so... Yeah. I don't know, after Ocarina of Time, what other Let's Play do you guys want to see? Like, should I do Gen 2 Pokemon? Should I do some other N64 Let's Plays? Maybe continue with Zelda, continue with Castlevania, continue with Mario, continue with Kirby, just whatever you guys want to see, honestly. Go ahead, let me know in the comments. I feel like once I finish Ocarina of Time, I'm probably going to start focusing on Arkham Knight and Ghost of Tsushima, and then that's I'm going to wrap those up. And I don't know if I don't know, like, I know I will get back to Plants vs. Zombies 2. I don't know when I'm going to get back to it. Because obviously, just that is an extremely long game in general. Torches, but no sticks. Easy peasy. We don't have Din's fire for nothing. So I'm trying to remember, because wait, that pause menu there was 3 of them medallions or whatever the hell. So what is the water temple, the 4th one? Because I swear I remember it being. Hold up, let me think. I think it like gave you the first one or whatever. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like, it gave you the first one. Like, the first sage was after beating the Jabu Jabu's belly dungeon. I think that's what it was, in all honesty. If anyone wants to, like, remind me. Yeah, because I can't remember for sure, but I think that's what it was, again. Man, I'm making this look easy right now, bro. The water temple in reality, it's hard as hell. But if y'all want to follow this guide, then feel free to. Anyways, y'all, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I think we are coming up on the end, so I am just going to start the outro here. Please leave a like, subscribe. That's going to be it for today's episode. And with that being said, bye.